We don't want to go out there thinking, well, today's the day I'm going to have an accident, but I don't think that anybody that has an accident thinks today's the day my engine's going to shut down, right? They don't prepare for it. But if we put in that little extra work ahead of time, wear our life preserver, wear that safety vest, right? Brief my passengers appropriately and do a proper pre-flight and prep with flight planning. I think that your chances are definitely increased to survival while you're out there. That really all depends. It depends on where they entered the terrain, wherever it could be, how remote the area is. Think Alaska versus New York City. These are two different areas. If their ELT was activated and if someone's hearing it, if they had a live ADSB, so it could be as soon as, hey, that was witnessed 5 minutes, somebody could be there, or in the cases where we search for aircraft for several days. So survivability depends on where you are, what the temperature is, the terrain, and are you injured as well during that landing. Now with the updated technology, we really do have the means to track the last place that aircraft was seen on radar. So the ADSB is such an important element in aircraft for that because it will tell the speed the aircraft was at, the altitude it was last seen, and an approximate area. So it does decrease the search radius, where in the past we would have to do grid flying with like the Civil Air Patrol to be able to locate it. Again, if you're out in terrain like Alaska, it's bold, it's big out there, and there isn't a lot of radar contact points. So even though we have an approximate location, it's going to be hard to find the wreckage, especially in that silver or that white aircraft. So it can take several days, but usually hours is something that is normal, even in mountaintops. We have a lot of very eager firefighters and hikers that go up there and they fly their drones to help find that wreckage, and we're narrowing that time frame down. Not to say nothing's impossible. You could be stuck for several weeks, I suppose, in some areas. It can be difficult to see wreckage from the sky. The reason is because it's not always intact. So if you find a part of a wing up in a tree, an engine that went deep into the forest, you might not be able to see anything. And I think that's a problem that I've been faced with, is I can't find my wreckage. Where is that engine that fell off the aircraft? Where is the wing that's separated in flight? We can't see it because the trees take it over. And if it goes into the water and sinks, or if it's the same color as the terrain below, we really do struggle with that. Thinking about the color of your aircraft and the terrain of where you will be flying is a big deal. There was a lost aircraft that impacted terrain in Alaska, and the aircraft was silver. And you can imagine as the sun comes over and starts glowing the white snow of Alaska, it's almost impossible to find a silver aircraft in the snow. So color makes a difference over the terrain. Most aircraft are white over green or brown terrain, and that makes it very visible. But things that you can keep inside your aircraft if you're able to get out are large tarps, yellow or red, and that also helps for visibility once you impact the ground, and for survivability, you can put it out there for search and rescue. Another thing that it is a personal investment, but a PLB, or a personal locator beacon, Garmin has a couple called InReach, something small and tiny that will be able to send out a signal, and all aircraft are equipped with an ELT in the tail that does put out a beacon on impact, but that requires somebody flying overhead and hearing that signal. So all things to think about for search and rescue. We never want to see the same accident twice, because we're not doing our job out there if we don't identify what's causing it. Anytime we approach wreckage, we look at it from where it sits on the ground, and you're able to tell a brief story. But it's not until you collect that wreckage and you lay it out and you start building the plane back again from grave to cradle. And metallurgy is such an incredible study where you can start seeing where cables from power lines were embedded into the side of a wing. So you have an idea that, hey, this aircraft did strike the wires when it went down. We can tell if an engine was on fire in flight because we can see if there's black streaking on the aircraft. The aircraft was in motion when it was on fire versus wreckage that is burned just strictly on the ground. So that wreckage tells a story, and it helps decode what that problem is. So all just an incredible study of wreckage and how we can bring it back to the birth cycle and say, how can we prevent this from happening again? Does this cable always snap after 100 hours? Okay, so we'll issue an AD that says after 50 hours it has to be replaced. So it's finding those little things to improve safety and start eliminating the crashes.